guys, I hope you're good today. I'm Amanda and welcome to my channel. So I just decided to give you a short update of what is happening in my garden. I just wanted to talk about organic gardening. I prefer organic gardening because it's the best form of gardening, and it also encourages those helpful and beneficial insects like earthworms, like pollinators, a lot of pollinators, and therefore that's why I prefer it. But this time around, I had to like deviate a little from that because I did not have access to an organic product that I needed to help the cutworm problem in my beds, in my garden beds. So I will tell you more about the product as we move along in the video. But I always encourage organic gardening. Even dealing with pests, I use organic forms, natural things to deal with pests, like interplanting, and yeah, like using flowers and other plants as hosts for pests. Or if I cannot control the pests, I would use like products like soap instead, neem oil, or just a mixture of soap and vinegar, and that would normally help me deal with pests like aphids and stuff like that. Or rather, cover some of the crops, especially those that are affected by, you know, those small white butterflies that usually lay their eggs and stuff like that. But this time around I had to deviate, but I must say that this is not a norm for me, because ever since I started my garden, I have always been strict on using organic products. But yeah, we learn as we go, and you know, sometimes circumstances force us to, like, you know, deviate from the norm, or from what we plan to stick to. But hopefully once I get this cutworm problem in order, then I will be able to go back to my strictly organic gardening. So I have applied the granules that help with dealing with cutworms. We've been having a lot of problems with cutworms in our garden. So as a result, we didn't really have the harvest that we were expecting, especially with our plants, with our vegetables, like leafy vegetables and all that. So I got this from the shop hardware slash nursery that we have here, because I couldn't get the cementitious earth to sprinkle on my garden, which is more natural and organic. But this one, I think they say fluoride, it's made from them. Sodium fluoride is made from it. I'll just put the name of the product on the screen. It dissolves gradually in the soil. This is how it looks like. It comes in small blue pellets, and then when you put it in the ground and start watering, the pellets like sort of like absorb the water, and they thicken, and then they break down. It's poisonous. I prefer organic gardening, and I prefer not to use poisons in my garden, but in this case I had no choice, because I couldn't find what I was looking for, and we are in a small town here. So if I really wanted to get what I was looking for, I would have to like go outside of town, like an hour and a half away, to get the organic product that I was looking for. But I wasn't able to do that, and I know I won't be able to do that for quite a while. So I opted for this. But instead of putting it in together with the seedlings at the same time, I decided to just sprinkle it on all these 3 beds before I plant, so that it breaks down completely into the soil, so that by the time I put in my seedlings, they would have completely dissolved. I don't know how long it stays in the ground or in the soil, but yeah, I hope by the time my plants reach maturity and consumption stage, the poison would have died, you know. They say this product is used in water to clean water, like sodium fluoride, and then it is also used as an insecticide, a pesticide, and it's got other uses as well, which I will put on the screen. I would not encourage any um, uses of poisonous products or chemicals in the garden because I myself do not use those. I prefer the organic ones, but this time I really had no choice. I had to make a decision fast because if I didn't put this here, then my garden would have suffered with cutworms because we still have quite a lot of cutworm that is active in the garden. For instance, I had lettuce here and the cutworm just ate it. It was about this size already. So we still have a lot of cutworm activity in our beds, and I just couldn't risk that because it would have meant that I'm planting my work will be in vain because the cutworms will help themselves. Look at this one. This is an already big plant, but look what they did. Look what they did. So we still have a lot of cutworm activity in our beds. So that's why I decided that I will just buy this. I haven't added it yet on these beds because I have vegetables that are almost ready for consumption and others we are already consuming. So as I was saying, I didn't put the granules on the other beds that already are planted because we have plants that we are already consuming there, like our spinach and our lettuce is almost ready. In fact, it is ready. I can even start picking it now. So I didn't put the granules here. Once I harvest everything and I remove everything, only then will I put the granules and also just leave them over time to dissolve before I add anything new, just like I did with the other beds. In this bed, we still have a lot of celery to harvest. Still have a lot of celery, and I'm glad that I got a second uh, round of marigolds because when I removed the ones that had already dried from all these beds, these ones sprouted from the seeds that fell to the ground. So this is the second time that I have marigold blooms in my garden. So here I have broccoli and I also have lettuce somewhere there in between the marigolds. I've also got spring onion there, and here I harvested the cauliflower here obviously, and I've got these seedlings and the lettuce is ready for picking. The side I had chives and I removed them because they were seeding already, and suddenly there was an infestation of small animals, small bugs. I don't know what they are called. Maybe you might see them, these little people here. So yeah, I just removed them because I didn't want the bugs to like move to other plants around this area. They are only here now. They are only here. I'm just gonna let it go and just let everything dry, and hopefully the bugs will die like um on their own. And here we still have spinach that we are harvesting, and then we have this. So that's why I'm not adding the granules here on these beds. Here I've got brinjal or eggplant, and it's starting to bear flowers, starting to flower, and hopefully I'll be able to get fruit before the frost starts. So yeah guys, this is my update, my garden update. For now I'm just going to let these break down, and then what I want to do is to just add a layer of compost on all these beds. I didn't want to add the compost first before I had dealt with the cutworm problem. So now that I have taken care of the cutworm problem, I will just add a layer of compost on top while I'm waiting for my seeds. By the way, I've already put in my seeds in the seedling trays. Some are in the house and some are here in the garden. Here I just put matado spinach. It's going to grow in this container. I'll let it grow in this container and harvest it from there. And I've got seeds also planted here, other seeds here, and here I also put the spinach, viroflay spinach. I will just let it grow in this container because you can't transplant those. They prefer direct planting. But since my beds were not ready, I couldn't put the seeds there, so I opted to put in these 2 containers. And here are other seed trays, and I also have some in the house as well. Which will all be transplanted into these beds. And once I remove everything here and also like deal with the cutworm problem on these beds, then I will transplant more seedlings on these beds.